Welcome into the Tool Shed Live. I'm Warren Seegers, and this is a program where we talk about everything that relates to home improvement and home ownership. With me tonight, I have Dan Gann, who is the commander of the VFW Post 360 in Mishawaka. Dan, how you doing?
Great, Warren.
So first, let me ask you, how's your Thanksgiving today?
It was pretty good. I got to spend a little bit of time with the grandkids, my parents, and brothers from other mothers.
Okay, so are you a turkey guy or are you a ham guy?
You know, I'm not really a turkey or a ham favorite.
Okay.
Okay, I'm kind of a red beef guy.
I thought you were going to say MREs.
No, I gave those up back in 2007.
When we retire, we give them up. As a matter of fact, we don't even like them when we're in the military. So usually what I do on the MREs, I would bring those home to my kids to eat. For some reason, they like them.
I liked the first generation of them when we had the dehydrated beef patties.
Right.
You used to be able to break a piece off, throw it in your mouth, and then it would start to swell up. And it was like having jerky out there in the field.
Yeah, it's kind of like having a dip in your mouth, but it was sustenance too.
Right.
My favorite MRE was the green eggs and ham.
Oh, no.
Do you remember that one? You didn't like that one?
No.
It didn't look good.
No.
But it tasted good. It's my favorite. So people are probably wondering, why are we talking about the military? What's going on? How does this relate to home improvement and ownership? But we're here to kind of talk about a serious thing. Well, most of us on this Thanksgiving, we're really thankful about what we have and that we're homeowners and we're able to do home improvement. There are many people that are out here in our country, the United States, believe it or not, that are homeless. And the VFW Post 360, you guys are doing something special for the homeless, aren't you?
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about that.
So this is the second year that we're running this program to where we're doing a collection for the homeless. We wanted to hit mainly the veterans.
Okay.
But we know that we can't exclude the rest of the community. Our mission as the VFW is to support our community. So what we've decided to do is we do this drive, we collect snacks, jackets, hats, gloves, and blankets to help provide for the people that are homeless. And since we live in that snow belt, we know that it's going to get cold. We've already had one snap of it, and within the next month it'll hit us again. And we want to get out there and have backpacks provided with the hats, gloves, jackets that we can find somebody that can use it.
Right.
The blankets to help keep them warm, because the heating centers aren't going to be operational 24 hours a day.
Right.
There's always that point where they have to go back out onto the streets.
Now, heating centers, because we were talking a few weeks ago about this, and you mentioned heating centers, and I'm still not real sure what that is. What is a heating center?
Okay, so a heating center is a place where they can go to get warm during the day. When it gets really cold, the heating center will have extended hours so that they can stay there. But other than that, you rely on the churches and the homeless shelter to be able to provide that warm place for somebody to lay their head at night.
Okay. So, what the heating center, how would you know what one is? Is it a store, a library? What?
Well, generally what happens is the city will have an area that they've gotten approval from the state that this is going to be a heating center.
Okay.
Right? It's a winter amnesty center is what they call them.
Okay.
And what they end up doing is they'll announce it over the radio, they'll announce it on TV, it'll hit Facebook, it'll hit a lot of other avenues as well as the newspaper. The homeless always know where they can go, okay? So they congregate to where they can get a warm meal. Okay. Where they can get a warm place to stay. During the daytime, they like to hit the libraries. Okay. Okay. The public library is a great place for somebody that is living on the street to go in and be able to use computers, read books, and of course warm up during the day.
Right, right.
So
Homeless with veterans, what kind of numbers are we looking here?
So across the board, you're looking at about 500,000 people, okay? And those numbers are always skewed because nobody wants to admit their situation is in dire straits.
Right.
Okay, so out of the 500,000 that we can see as far as homeless, we have about 8% that are veterans.
Right. So, and when you're saying the numbers are skewed, and I can kind of relate with this because as Army guys especially, we've always been taught to suck it up, drive on, don't complain, don't show weakness. Do you think that has something to do with it?
I think it has a lot to do with it because we are taught to be guarded individuals.
Right.
Okay, don't give too much information, okay? The term OPSEC, okay?
Yes.
Operation Security.
Yes,
You
absolutely.
don't talk about a lot of things, right? You keep it to yourself. So it's on a need-to-know basis. And I think that a lot of our veterans that are homeless tend to feel that same way.
Right.
They are guarded. They don't want anybody else to know what their dire straits are. And they also don't want to talk about it because, like you said, suck it up, drive on.
Right.
Okay, this is what I got today. And it's on me to make my tomorrow better.
Exactly. So many times that's how veterans, a lot of them don't talk about their military past and careers and things like that. So the homeless vets, is this only adults? Do they have kids?
No, they often have families.
Okay, I mean...
Okay, they often have families, and as a veteran, I know that I would do anything for my children.
Right.
Okay, I would sacrifice everything that I had to make sure that they had the things that they needed, and sometimes I sacrificed the things that I needed in order to be able to give them the things that they wanted.
Right.
All right, and I think the same thing holds true with the homeless vets. All right, they have families, and due to unforeseen circumstances, they find themselves in a position where they're homeless and they're trying to figure it out.
Right.
Some of it could also be dependency. Okay. Because we know that happens.
Right.
All right. It's not something that goes untalked about.
Exactly. And
So
some of these vets, they've gone through things that the average person will never see in a lifetime, and it's hard to deal with those kind of things, and
right.
Drug abuse, dependency like that. So if someone's homeless, are there places they can go for help like that?
So you have the homeless shelter in South Bend.
Okay.
You also have Miller's Vets for the Homeless.
Uh-huh.
All right. And they have beds set up to be able to help somebody, but you have to qualify for the program. Okay.
Just like anything with the government, got to qualify.
Right. You got to qualify for the program, and you got to be willing to take the steps in order to help yourself.
Gotcha. So it's not say what you got to say to get a free meal and then leave.
Right.
When you do that, you're there for the duration to fix yourself.
Right. Here in our area, South Bend, Mishawaka, Elkhart, Osceola, we have a big veteran community. Okay. We have the VFWs, the American Legions. Then we have veterans that have gone on to do other things. Dulos Chapel. All right. Mario Sims happens to be a great guy, Marine Corps veteran. He is a pastor that bought his church, okay, and he's got a large space. We helped him get it cleaned out. His mission is to help as many veterans as he can.
Right.
Those that have dependency issues, he will sit down and counsel them and work with them to help them get to a new plan. All right. So you have that. You have the Miller's Vets. You have the homeless shelter. You have the various churches that are willing to help, and the American Legions, the VFWs, the Marine Corps League. That's what we're here for. We're here to support our community. We're here to support our veterans. Our veterans mean more to us than I think any place else in the world. It breaks my heart to know that they're out there
Right.
and they're going without the things that they need.
Exactly. So let's talk about the program that you're doing. How do you come up with these items? So you're putting these kits together. You showed me one of them, and it was unique. You had a sack, kind of like a backpack sack,
So-
like you would pick up at a trade show to put all your flyers in.
Right.
And you had things that you're putting in, but where does all this stuff come from? I mean,
Last year we partnership with United Parcel Service.
Okay.
Okay, locally. The employees there brought the items in. Okay. Then we also had the donation boxes at the VFW.
Right.
We had them at other locations such as the libraries and stuff to be able to get those donations in. We brought them all back to Post 360. We set up all the tables in our big hall.
Okay.
Right? And we had members from the Marine Corps League, the Marine Riders, Miller's Vets sent their admin people over, and we went and laid out all the items. And then we tried to make sure that each one of the items that we had got into a backpack.
Now, I also know that you have your standard general backpack, but you also have backpacks specifically for women and men, because we all different needs.
So we have backpacks for the women. We also did backpacks for the children.
Okay.
Okay. Because we know they're out there.
Right.
We don't know how many, so we just try to build as many as we can with the items that we have. And so in cases where you're not sure, okay, you go with the error of judgment and you throw in what you've got,
Right.
hoping that that will be something that somebody needs.
Right.
All right.
We all know from the Army, when you go out to the field, it's better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it.
Exactly.
So that's a great stamp. So say there's somebody out there, because I'm kind of looking at this as a telethon, folks, that we're trying to get this going and help out the VFW 360, make this a good year for them. Second year, right?
Second year.
Okay. So if someone has coats, jackets and things like that, but they don't know where one of the boxes are, because I know, me personally, we have one at the Career Center where I teach. It's right there in the front, and we're collecting donations there. But if someone has some old coats, blankets that they want to donate towards this cause, how can they get in touch with you?
Okay, so they can reach out to us at vfwp360@gmail.com.
Okay.
They could stop by at 1307 East Jefferson Boulevard in Mishawaka, Indiana, 46545. You can call the VFW at 574-255-4125. And if you leave us a message, we will try to get somebody out to your location if you can't make it to us.
So that's the key right there. You actually send someone out to it. Now, here's one thing that I want to bring up, because when you were showing me to the packs a couple weeks ago, I noticed that there were T-shirts in there, and they were all from an event, and the years were it was like a year-old event. Tell me so how do people get creative of donating?
Okay, so things like that. Okay, the T-shirts from events that have already passed. All right, they can't get rid of the T-shirts, but you know what? The homeless need clean clothes. All right, throw in a warm shirt. All right, it allows them to either layer up or change their clothing so that they can get the items that they're wearing cleaned. Mm-hmm. All right. As far as coats and sweatshirts and those items, we will get things laundered if somebody didn't have the time to do it.
Right.
We'll get them laundered before we take them out to the general public and to the homeless, to be exact. But we'll do whatever it takes to make sure that they have something more than what they had today.
So how many backpacks did you distribute last year?
Okay, so we did over 125 backpacks last year.
Wow.
All right, we hit the downtown public library in South Bend, okay, which is the St. Joe County Public Library, which is now closed.
Okay.
For another year and a half. All right, but we also went to Our Lady of the Roads. All right, they were getting a hot breakfast there on a Saturday morning, and we sent 2 vans out there.
Wow.
And it was like we gave everything away within a couple hours.
So you're being really good and specific about giving you know where they're going to be.
We do know where they're going to be. If we have to, we'll go under the bridges.
And you will actually go look for them.
We'll go look for them.
Little forward observation.
Yep. Last year we also went to the YWCA. All right. Of course, there, the only thing we can do is drop off items, and the YWCA will take care of those items, making sure that the people get them that need them. But what we found last year was all those items that we put in those backpacks, if somebody didn't need something, they tried to give it back.
Really?
They did.
So
if they didn't need something, they gave it back to us because somebody else would possibly need it.
So they're looking out for their fellow brother in the same sense. But you're looking out for them. They look out for like, I can't use this, but someone can.
Right.
That is an amazing story. So that's interesting in itself. I want to know, when you find someone underneath the bridge and you give them this backpack, how do they react?
The reaction is usually, why? You know, because nothing ever comes for free.
Right.
But I'm telling you, this is something that we're doing, and we talked with them. We talked with them at the public library. We talked with them at all the locations that we went to, and it's like, look, we have this. You possibly need it. This is for you. There's no strings attached. We don't need to know your name. We don't need to even know that you were actually a veteran.
Right.
All right? Because we're not going to single out veterans versus just the homeless.
Do you ever have any of them come back where they get back on their feet and say, thank you, that made the difference?
Not so much coming back directly to us, okay? But last year I watched as, because we also put rain ponchos in the backpacks,
right?
Okay, and I watched those rain ponchos walk down the streets of South Bend, and there's only one place that those ponchos came from, and that was from us.
Wow!
And
so you see
it was humbling for me, and it was humbling for our whole team. I mean, we saw just how many homeless are out there.
I would think if someone's thinking of like something to give, a poncho and some bungee cords. I cannot tell you how much you can do with that, because you can wear it and you can actually make a shelter out of that stuff.
Yes, you can.
In the military, we did ponchos. I used to carry 3 with me out to the field.
Well,
you know?
And we found last year that it's not just those items. It's mainly snacks, because the snacks are what help you generate energy,
right,
which creates heat, which keeps you warm.
Warm, exactly, yeah. So I want to take a brief second here, because I want to thank some of the people that are out there watching. Marla Berkshire, Michael Novak, Jim Hagan, Steve Berkins, Christy Dietz, and your wife is watching, just to let you know. Yep, he's really here. He's not out at the VFW sitting at the bar.
No, it's actually closed today.
Oh, is it? It's closed today. All right. I think I did see that. I got a message on that one. And then Jill Bagman says, thank you for what you're doing. So, and here's the thing, folks. It's not just what they're doing. They actually need your help to do what they're doing.
Exactly. We can use all the help that we can get, because we use our own funds. But then we also have sponsors like UPS last year. We have other sponsors within the community. Don't want to name names, because I don't want to make them feel obligated to do it for us again. But we do that on a personal level, where we go out and we solicit things that we need. So basically, yes, we're soliciting your audience to help us fulfill our mission this year. Last year was 125 backpacks.
What's the goal this year?
The goal this year is to try to double that. All right.
Okay.
I was looking at stats earlier today. All right. The stats, and I say they're skewed, and they are, but the stats that I looked at, there were over 207 homeless in St. Joe County.
Wow.
Okay.
That's amazing.
You'd be surprised then. Elkhart County has 350.
Really?
really.
And you don't think of the area where we live in, it's not like Denver or like a warmer climate where you see homeless people all over the city. I mean, I guess it's not that I'm turning a blind eye, but I just don't notice. Is it because of the whole pride thing? And
I think you have to look at where they're congregating at.
Right.
Okay, and they're not really congregating in big groups, except for in downtown South Bend.
Okay.
You can see them there.
Right.
Across the whole county of St. Joe County and across the whole county of Elkhart County, you may not see them standing out to you.
Right. I guess we're not like some of the bigger cities where they actually have tent cities.
Right.
Where you're driving down the road and you just see all these tents of homeless
We're not
people.
LA, we're not Chicago, we're not Detroit, we're not Baltimore, we're not DC, okay? We're a smaller community, all right? But we tend to be more family-oriented, and we like our small hometown feel, okay?
Right.
Now, granted, we're not Bremen,
Right.
we're not some of the smaller towns, but
I'm from Bremen, Indiana, by the way.
But we're still a small town.
Right, yeah.
We're still a small town, and we need the community to help us, okay? We need the community to tell us where they see the homeless.
That was one of the questions I was going to ask you, because you can't have eyes on everything, but if someone notices what they seem to be, maybe someone's homeless, a family living in a car, they should call you and let you know.
They should reach out to us and let us know, because there's always help out there. You have a lot of programs that maybe they're not aware of. Maybe they don't know how to get through the red tape. We have people that can help them.
That's amazing. So I want to go over real quick. For those that are out there watching right now and they want to help, what are the big items you're really looking for? What's the top 5?
Top 5: hats, gloves, jackets, blankets, snacks.
Okay, what's the lower level? I would think in the top 5 would still be baby wipes.
Baby wipes, exactly. Last year, our drive brought us a lot of toothbrushes, toothpaste, and those items. I have plenty of those to augment the backpacks.
All right.
But baby wipes, it could be a small pack. It could be a big pack that you go out and get at one of the big box stores. And we'll break it down to smaller individual packs so that somebody has a way to clean themselves.
Right.
It could be wet naps. All right.
Okay.
You went to the store and you got wet naps. Or not to the store, but to a restaurant. You got wet naps.
You just collect those. Yeah, because
Right.
they collect in the center of your car console.
How many of these people out there actually travel, okay, and
Right.
go to a hotel and they get the travel size shampoo?
And the soap and all that? Okay.
Yeah,
Those
items
are perfect.
Those are perfect.
Yeah.
And we've had a lot of people that travel for business, for their jobs. They donate those items. What are they going to do with them?
Right.
You know,
Exactly.
you kind of paid for it when you got the hotel room.
Right. Yeah. So that's interesting. And the baby wipes. Being in the Army, that's like one thing that you never go to the field without baby wipes. A lot of people think it's kind of weird. Why do Army guys need baby wipes? It's because we use it when we clean the hot spots, you know, the armpits, crotch, and feet, you know, so that it's just like a clean T-shirt means a great deal.
Right.
We'll go through a T-shirt every single day and socks every day, but we'll wear the uniform 3 to 4 days.
Right.
But just changing that undergarments, those kind of things are very, very important.
You know, in basic training, they taught you that clean socks meant the whole world. Right?
Yeah.
Clean, dry socks. Clean, dry socks. Clean, dry shoes.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Those, if you take care of your feet, you're probably going to take care of the rest of yourself.
Yes, exactly.
All right? And warm, comfy feet,
Yeah.
no better feeling.
Yeah, when you're out in the range and the training is cold, the 2 things you never want to be cold are your feet and your hands.
Right.
Because if those 2 things get cold, you're miserable.
Exactly.
So that's great. Once again, if people have things and they want to get in touch with you, how do they do that again?
Okay, so you can reach out to the VFW at VFWP, as in Paul, 360 @gmail.com. If you don't want to reach out to the VFW, I'll tell you what. Reach out to me. My email address is Gann, Gann, .Danny, DANNY, @att.net. I will make all efforts to get these items to the people that need them.
So how long are you collecting? What's the deadline for collection so that you can actually get these out?
Okay, so we don't really stop collecting, but this is a big drive right now because we're coming into a very cold season.
Yes.
All right. So we would like to be out there before Christmas to get a lot of things out. Okay. A lot of these backpacks out so that they have something, take them into the cold weather. And then if you can't do it today and you get to January, February, and all of a sudden you find that you have items, we want to do this through the cold months. Okay. Summer months, it's a little bit easier on them.
Right.
It's not perfect, but it's a little bit easier because it's not so cold.
So Casey, hey, how are you doing? Kim, Terrence, thanks for watching. So that's another point. I'm sure that if you had enough items that you could distribute this, like make a summer backpack and a winter backpack, that would be something you'd like to.
It would be something that I like to do.
But you just don't have the resources right now to...
We don't have the resources. You know, the VFW does a lot of things for the community. And one of the things that we try to do is try to just be involved with the community.
Right.
So this is our effort to try to bring the rest of the community into us and show them what we can do as a community. And it just happens to be veteran-led.
So let me ask you this. I know you guys have a Facebook page.
Yes.
And I just joined this VFW Post, so I'm going to be helping them out with their Facebook page. Do you have a list of where the boxes are in the community that if you gave that to me, I could put that up in the Facebook page and people could go to the VFW, because VFW Post 360 Mishawaka on Facebook.
Right. So what I can do is I don't have that with me tonight.
Right.
But I can get back with you tomorrow and let you know where these collection areas are.
Okay. So there you go. There's another way. If you could always when this video is done, it always posts to all the different pages that we have. But if you want a simple way, let's give it till Monday. Dan's going to get me the information where the drop-off points are, and I will put that on the Facebook page so that people can go back there and look at that and actually know where to drop this stuff off. Boy, our time is almost up. Can you believe that? That went fast. And we were going to get into the other part too. Is
well, yeah, another project that is near and dear to the heart of the VFW is Stop 22 Michiana.
Yeah.
All right, talking about the average. I know that number skewed as well, 22 a day. All right, but the problem is suicide.
Right.
And veterans taking their own lives, and so that's another project that's out there. Stop 22 Michiana has its own Facebook page. All right, it falls under the umbrella of the VFW, but we also again reach out with the Marine Corps League,
right,
the American Legion, the Marine Riders, the Army Riders, the Combat Vet Riders. Okay, actually the Combat Veteran Motorcycle Association. Okay, we've tried to reach across. We've talked with American Legions in LaPorte County. So it's a young organization.
Right.
It's only just a little bit over a year old, and that was because we took 3 veteran suicides in our community.
And I've dealt with it just this is actively reserving people. I've experienced it twice in my career, and it's never easy. We're going to have you back another time, and we'll talk more about that. But everybody that's out there listening, please help out. If you have anything, coats, blankets, the list that Dan gave off, please get in contact with them, bring those items, and help them help the community. Everything that you do to help him is going to be paid back 10 times over. Dan, appreciate you coming in here, especially on a Thanksgiving. It's a holiday. I know, family.
You know what? As you mentioned, my wife was checking to see if I was actually where I was supposed to be.
Yes,
okay,
that's what wives do.
Jill Begeman is the wife of a friend of mine. Okay, and I'm assuming that she was checking to make sure that if my wife didn't check that I was where I was supposed to be.
It's a girlfriend thing. Yeah.
Right. Well, it's a family thing. We are a family.
Yes.
Okay. So, welcome to the VFW.
Thank you.
And it's a new family that you just joined.
Yes.
It's brothers in arms that no longer have to carry the arms in order to help each other.
Exactly. And I'm looking really forward to being involved with this because this is good stuff. That's why I had you on the show. So anyway, that is all the time that we have. Thank you once again for joining us. I do want to thank all of our Facebook affiliate pages that carry this program every Thursday. That's GardenHouseFlags.com, Brett Metzler, Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, Penny Seeger's Remax Results, Custom Creations LLC, and of course the Edifice Venture. The Tool Shed streams to these pages every Thursday at 9 o'clock Eastern. And I want to remind you that I also post an edited version of all these programs on my Facebook, or actually my YouTube channel, which you can find at Edifice Venture, if you do a keyword search for that, or W Seegers 2. And the Tool Shed also re-airs again on Saturdays and Sundays at 10 a.m. and 10 p.m. on Pickle Beats and Jams, which is an internet radio station. And you can find that at tunein.com or the TuneIn app. So be sure to like us on Facebook, tune in, and like my Facebook, or subscribe to my YouTube channel. The Tool Shed also is a production of Seegers Media. I am the producer. Coy Seegers is our director, and Penny Seegers is our scheduling manager. Until next week, DIY till you die.